My name is Garrett. I am the president and CEO of the Garrett Companies.
The Garrett Companies is a full-service development, construction, and management company that specializes in the multifamily industry. We're active in around 20 different states and have exceeded $2 billion in total development. We are currently one of the largest privately held multifamily developers in the country.
Knowing that it's really your mind that can propel you further in life. There may be physical limitations, there may be forces working against you, but always having the mindset that you're going to go out, compete, and win. And you'll always find a way to do that if you carry that mindset.
Eric is I would say he doesn't bring a lot of pretense to his operation. I thought he was well-spoken, but really down to earth. He spoke to me more as a peer than he would have what would be a typical sort of professional or, a hierarchy kind of boss. I always felt like we were on the same terms.
One word to describe Eric would be determined. I would say Eric is a very strong leader. He definitely leads by example, but he also is somebody that if you have questions or make a mistake, he's definitely going to help you along the way. He's definitely easy to work with, but if you need help, he's definitely going to guide you along the way.
We all work together for a common goal, whether that be the development side or construction or our property management. We all look at this as being one big family, and we try to make sure that we all execute our designated responsibilities as best as we can.
Eric's impact on my personal life and professional career is really one and the same. I joined Eric almost 6 years ago. I bought into what his belief and his vision was for the company, and he took a chance on me, and I think that ever since then we've had a great partnership because we both have mutual trust for each other.
Eric has a knack of letting people be good at what they're good at. I know that sounds really simple, but if he trusts someone, he will give them a lot of bandwidth to sort of grow into their career path and actually shape it and turn it into something completely different than when it started. And I think he intuitively knows that is a benefit to the company and to that person as well.
The Garrett Companies culture is second to none. When I started, it was almost too good to be true, and I was like, when's the ball gonna drop? When's it all gonna fall apart? But the grass is greener here, and everybody cares about each other, and Eric and his team were very intentional about the culture they built and the team members that they bring on. And it's a team who wants to build each other up and be collaborative, but yet have fun and really take care of their employees.
The future is very bright, and the sky's the limit. I can see us tripling in size. I see us adding multiple divisions that are in the process of forming right now. I could easily see us at 400 to 500 strong within the next 5 to 10 years.
As somebody recently asked me if I was surprised by all the progress we had in the past 5 or 6 years, and my answer immediately was no, I'm not surprised at all actually, because I know what Eric's vision was in the beginning, and I bought into it, and there was nothing that surprised me about the progress that we've made. So in 10 years, I see us getting bigger, I see us getting better, improving on the things that we do now, perfecting what we do, establishing new relationships, and really in 10 years looking back and thinking that we're really proud of what we did, but still we're not surprised at what we accomplished.
I always had a vision of myself going on and doing big things. For some reason, I've always felt driven to try to achieve those, big goals. I'm not the most successful guy in the world, but I feel like I'm hitting my goals, so that makes me successful in my own mind, and I'm just unbelievably humbled by the fact that somebody would actually nominate me to be a legend of Castle, an institution that I look at and hold in such high regard. I was born in Evansville, Indiana.
This is it, 3702. This is where my mom and I lived, and it was an interesting learning experience. There's nothing wrong necessarily with this project, but I learned really early at an early age what a good apartment looks like and what a bad apartment looks like, and what good management is versus bad management, and how people need to be treated. Regardless of your income status, you want to be treated with a certain level of respect.
Moved to Newburgh, Indiana when I was 10 years old. Went to Newburgh Elementary School, on to Castle Junior High, and then went to Castle High School and graduated from Castle High School in 1995. Early on, there were a lot of teachers in my life that played an instrumental role. Even back in elementary school, in 5th grade, for example, Mrs. Wittenbreaker, just the life lessons that she taught about organization, I still apply those today to my life. My later years in Newburgh and Castle before I went on to college, guys like John Leidy, who was the head football coach at Castle High School, Bob Harmon, who was my freshman football coach, Kurt Welch, who was my freshman baseball coach, and was also, I've helped out the varsity baseball team as well. Pat Lockyer, guys like that really kind of shaped my life and set the trajectory for where I am today.
You know, he came, like a lot of us, from a fairly modest background. You know, he's one of my best friends, a guy that I share everything with, and likewise. And so even as important as his physical contributions on the field were the mental edge that he gave us. And he's a guy you could always trust. He was the best man in my wedding. I was the best man in his. And so we've been very tight for a long time.
Eric was a very determined teammate. I don't think that anybody in our team really had real flashy talent level skills. You know, we had determination, we had grit. He was very, very determined to succeed. You know, our interaction with Coach Harmon, he was our freshman head football coach, and it's almost like he could see the potential in our group. He really put forward some effort to try and provide that foundation for that group, gave us different things about mental toughness and how mentally you're going to get tired, but physically you can do it.
The 7 P's are prior proper planning prevents piss poor performance. We spend a lot of time on the mental side. You know, everybody focuses on that physical side. We spend a lot of time trying to get that mind, that state of mind that they need to go out and compete, not only athletically, but in the classroom and, you know, future in life as far as that goes.
I was assistant freshman football coach. It was my second year. Eric was a freshman. That team eventually won state, so it was kind of a special group. Our current coach was on that team. Well, I knew he had a lot of very good work ethic. You can see that in sports, you know, his grades. We kind of tracked that a little bit when they were freshmen. A very good student. You know, not all of us are straight A students, but he was the kind of guy that you knew was going to be successful no matter what he did, because he put everything into what he did. And Eric was one of those kids that we could say this kid's he's going to be fine. Whatever he does, he's going to be great.
You always have students that you wonder what they're going to be because where they're at in their life, but knowing Eric, whatever he wanted to do, he would be that person. Failure was not an option for him. So whatever goal he had in his life, that was what he was going to be. So whatever he achieved doesn't surprise any of us. If he failed, he wasn't giving up. He was going to keep striving to reach his goals. And we just got to understand that we're going to fail in life. And Eric sets that example that we can still have success even though we do have setbacks.
The Castle Legends Award or recognition was started 4 years ago when one of our staff members had the idea that we needed to recognize our former students who had gone on to do some really amazing things. They have a limit, and this is the second time that we've gone through this process to select some legends, and so we're in the process of selecting the next group of Castle High School legends. Eric just worked and did everything to accomplish what he has, and that's the kind of message I'd really like to get across to students today. High school's not the end of it. You know, it's what you do after high school and how you use what you've learned.
Eric was the first guy who ever was so interested in my dreams and my career goals and just my plans for the future. You know, Eric is definitely a family man, so he would much rather spend time on the weekend with us doing something as a family than anything else. So he's kind of a homebody, quite honestly, which we love. Eric can be very intense. He can be very competitive, but he also has a very soft side, a very sensitive and caring side to him. And fortunately, I get to see both of those, and I think not everybody does. Incredibly humbling that I would be getting this award. It was a complete surprise. I believe Matt Holweger and Emily Holweger were the two that put together the application. I know that Pam Monet was involved with that as well. And you know, just to think that they thought highly enough of me to put in that application and to think of me as a legend, I guess, is incredibly humbling. And there's so many people I couldn't even begin to do justice to the number of people that shaped my life while I was there in Newburgh or Castle. Thank you. Thank you for letting a guy like me from Evansville into the fold and treating me like your own. And you know, as I look back at it now, I don't even look at Evansville as really even though I grew up there and spent 9 years there, it's not really what home is. Home is Newburgh, home is paradise, home is Castle.